Test. Well then, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. This is the Coaching Corner with Kirk. I'm Kirk. In the Coaching Corner, we share tips, tricks, best practices on content creation, live streaming, live video, any kind of video. I operate under a simple belief that says your live stream is your digital storefront. Let me repeat, your live stream is your digital storefront. Your live stream gives people a window into what it is that you do, what it is that you've experienced that gives relevance and credibility to what you do, and allows them to quickly make the decision as to whether or not they want to harness your superpower, drastically decreasing that buyer cycle, but also allowing people to really get in and know, like, and trust you. I mean, that's the secret sauce. I get a chance to work with business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, authors, consultants, faith-based entities, nonprofits, to utilize content to really find their audience, engage their audience, and serve their audience. To utilize content to find their audience, engage their audience, and serve their audience. It's a vehicle. And if that interests you, then I would recommend that you lock in with us for the next, 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour, as we dive into some questions. Put your questions in the chat with a Q:. I can see my moderator is here already. Florence, what's good? Thank you so much for being with us. We had a little joke about the Coaching Corner with Kirk, and somebody called me Coach Kirk and they put a K in front of it. And I was like, oh snap, I could actually use Coach Kirk with a K instead of a C. But then it occurred to me that if I put the corner, if I change it, so the logo that's right here, if I change both of those C's to K's, my name starts with a K, so it would be the Coaching Corner with Kirk, and it would be KKK, and that's not a good deal. So we're gonna leave the corner part as a C. The corner part's always gonna be a C, right? That's the branding. But the coaching part, that's gonna change to a K. Coach Kirk with a K, that's the thing. But I always want to make sure right at the beginning that you know exactly what this is all about. We're gonna be talking about thumbnails today, and I'm gonna front load. I always want to give people the value and the benefit right up front. So where are we? We're 3 minutes and 20 seconds into the video. I've given you a little bit of background and perspective on what it is that we do here. But I also want to now share with you a couple of details. Okay. I want to share with you a couple of details. Ooh. That's way more detailed than I anticipated, but we're going to make it work. We're gonna make it work. I hope you guys are doing well today. Wait. It's a good day, even though it's overcast and cloudy here in the Tennessee Valley. It's a good day. Let's go V there, and let's go to the top. All right. We're going to dive right in. First question. What is the right size for a YouTube thumbnail image? Okay, let me type that in. What is the right size for a YouTube thumbnail image? This is the first question. What is the right size for a YouTube thumbnail image? Now, YouTube recommends that it be 1280 by 720. 1280 by 720 is the recommended size. 1280 by 720. If you use a platform like Canva, it's already gonna, you just literally go to the design part and hit the button and it says YouTube thumbnail. And if you select that, it's gonna give you a Canva. Now you know where the name comes from. It's gonna give you a canvas that's already 1280 by 720. Now, what I want you to know is that you can use 1920 by 1080 and YouTube will use it. It will use it, but you do need to make sure that the file size is under 2 meg. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah. You want to make sure that custom thumbnails look good on all devices. So try to keep the important details like the video's title or graphic elements in the center of the image, not on the sides or the periphery. Center, because you want to make sure it actually looks good on all devices. So regardless of whether you do the top, 1280 by 720 or use 1080, 1920 by 1080. All right. Regardless of whether size you use, you want to make sure that you put your content in the middle. All right. Second question. What should a YouTube thumbnail include? What should a YouTube thumbnail include? What should it include? I love this. YouTube thumbnail image, it should be eye-catching. It should accurately represent the content of your YouTube video. So I know that it's a huge thing. It's like clickbait, and clickbait has become a negative term, and rightly so, especially if your clickbait is more like a catfish. No, okay. If your clickbait is not real, if it's not actually sharing what you really intend as value for the video, if you're just doing something that will get people to click, you are defeating the purpose, because you don't just want them to click. Clicking is a natural next step you want your viewer to take in this journey, but you also want them to watch the video. And I would dare say watching the entire video is what all of our goal is. Even as we talk about thumbnails, the goal is to get them to watch the whole thing. So you want your thumbnail to accurately represent your content. Still want it to be eye-catching, but accurately representing what is in the video is equally as important. You want to include some sort of visual that will grab people's attention, whether it's a close-up of your face, an action shot, or something else entirely. Make sure that the video's title on your thumbnail is legible and easy to read. Now, does your title on your thumbnail and the title that you use in YouTube may not necessarily be the same thing. They don't necessarily have to be the same thing. Just keep that in mind. Just stick that in your pocket. I'm giving that to you for free. But this, when we're answering the question, what should a YouTube thumbnail include? This is what I'm saying. It should accurately represent what they're going to get in the video. All right. So we want to make sure that that's there. We want to make sure that that is there. Where can you create custom YouTube thumbnails? So glad you asked this question. What's going on, Helen? What's going on, Micah, Flemings? Thank you guys so much for coming through today. So question, where can you create? I knew that was going to happen. Don't do that. All right, let's see if I can get this to work from here. I can't. I don't like when that thing goes to sleep. That should be fine. Okay. Where can you create custom YouTube thumbnails? There are many places you can create them. Up until very recently, you couldn't also create them in StreamYard, but now you can. You can create them in Canva. You can create them in Photopea. You can create them in Photoshop. That's a little overkill, but you can. You can create them in, get this. You can create them in PowerPoint, and you can create them in Keynote. Yeah, you can. Actually, you can. You can use stock images from Unsplash. You can use stock images, of course, from Canva. There are so many different places that you can go to be able to create custom thumbnails. One option is actually the YouTube thumbnail generator. Yeah, this website will allow you to upload stock images and then customize them to fit the YouTube thumbnail dimensions. So that's actually another one as well, the YouTube thumbnail generator. Like, that's as simple as it gets. Another option is to use Photoshop, as I mentioned before. This program offers a wide range of features that can help you create the perfect YouTube thumbnail, but it does have a learning curve to it. In addition, there are many online tutorials that can walk you through the process step by step. You can also hire a professional designer to create YouTube thumbnails for you. Whichever option you choose, make sure to select an image that is high quality and represents the content your YouTube video, that's the content of your YouTube video in an engaging way. All right. Represents the content in an engaging way. All right, let me see what we got here. This is a great point for me to just say, if you have questions, please put your questions in the chat with a Q. Put your questions in the chat with a Q and we'll get to them. I was live on Instagram earlier. I was also live, Florence, I was live for the members earlier today. Just a quick brief live for members on YouTube. So hopefully some of you guys got a chance to see that. So yes, those are some of the things that you can do. If you have questions, please go ahead and put a Q in the chat. So what are some tips and tricks to creating eye-catching thumbnails? All right, because we have the basic covered. We got the basics covered. Creating a YouTube thumbnail, we know the size, we know some of the places that we can do. The general overarching rule, right? This guiding premise. I always like to give this guiding premise for anything content related, is that you go make sure that the thumbnail represents what's in the video. Don't bait and switch, folks. Don't do that. That's not nice. Make sure your thumbnail represents what's actually in the video. Okay, so that's a big one. All right, so what are some tips? Let me put this into the chat. So tips and tricks for creating eye-catching thumbnails. Number one, use bright colors. Number one, use bright colors. I'm trying. Oh, that was something very odd just happened there. Let me see if I can make this work. All right. Use bright colors. Number two, include a call to action. All right. So bright colors, call to action. All right. I'm going to read them off and then I'm going to put them in the chat and then we're going to go over them individually. All right, so use, right, so these are the three. I'm putting these in the chat. Boom. Tips and tricks to create eye-catching thumbnails. Number one, use bright colors. Use bright colors. Bright colors are eye-catching and will help your custom YouTube thumbnail stand out from the rest. So one of my signature colors is purple, and the brand colors for how it all works is not just purple, but purple, slate, and white, but it's kind of a different type of white. But anyway, three of them are on screen in this little bar right here, right now. And you can even see a little bit of the purple behind me on screen. You could even see some of it on my t-shirt. Build on your intellectual property. Build on your intellectual property. Build on it. It's your intellectual property. Build on it. It's a whole, this t-shirt is a whole message in and of itself, but the colors grab attention. You want to find, and I want to say this, you want to find a color palette for your content, for your brand, where those colors work together. So there's elements of that color palette throughout, and that branding sends a visual signal to your audience. I just have the three bars on some of my content sometimes, but I try my best where possible to utilize those colors. If I have to choose a color, I'm going to choose one of those three, or I'm going to try and use something that complements them. So using bright colors really helps your YouTube thumbnail to stand out. Include a call to action. This is a big one. This is a big one. Seven of you on the live, and we got 4 likes. I'm happy with that. I'm just hoping that you guys are tracking with me so far. And if you have questions, don't just sit and listen. I hope if you have questions, put your questions in the chat. What's good, Living Water Quilter? She was on my live on Instagram earlier today when I was going for a walk. The second one here says include a call to action. Tell people what they can expect from your YouTube video and encourage them to click on your YouTube video thumbnail. Tell people what they can expect and encourage them to click. I was talking with a coaching client and we were talking about this dynamic of the call to action. And they were like, so I should just tell them what I want to do right on the thumbnail. And they had this whole long sentence that they were trying to add into the thumbnail. It's like, no. Sometimes the call to action could just be a mouse pointer with a circle around it, and some maybe like some lines that denotes that somebody has clicked. It's a call to action, but it's a visual one. It's a thumbnail, it's a graphic, it's an image. You want to draw people in, but you don't want to use too many words. Somebody told me that 5 to 7 words is a maximum for thumbnails. Now I probably break that rule every day, but I am mindful about what is the least amount of words I can use on my thumbnail to get the point across. And is there anything that I can use a visual for? Because I want my thumbnail to really grab attention. I want it to have the bright colors. I want it to let the person know what they're in for in this video, but I also want it to call them to action. Come and check this out. This is something that you need in your life. So it includes a call to action. And then the third one in our list here says use contrast. Color is one of the most important elements of any design, and YouTube thumbnails are no exception. Can I repeat? YouTube thumbnails do not fall outside of this guiding principle, right? The right colors can make a video stand out from the rest, attract attention. Yo, listen, the right colors. Yeah. I have a friend named Sharona Drake. She's a branding expert, and she's like, one of the things that she takes people through as they try to help to hone and develop and establish their brand, she takes them through this journey of self-discovery to understand themselves. And as they understand themselves, we can really put together a brand that represents them. Colors is in that strategy somewhere down the line, but colors are really important. They're really important. The wrong colors can be just as effective at turning viewers away. That's why it's so important to choose colors carefully when creating YouTube thumbnails. If somebody has a visceral reaction, they're like, oh, that red and yellow, oh my word. You don't want that. You don't want that. One way to make sure thumbnails stand out is to use contrasting colors. A bright color against a dark background or vice versa will help your thumbnail stand out in a sea of less eye-catching options. So if you're looking to give your YouTube channel a boost, consider using contrasting colors in your thumbnails. It could make a huge difference. Here's another one I want to say to everybody out there. Test different thumbnails. If I could type. One might ask, why would you type if you could just paste it? Test different thumbnails. Try out different video thumbnails and see which ones perform best. You can use YouTube's A/B testing tool to compare 2 YouTube thumbnail images side by side. I have a site that I want to go to. I'll probably go to a little later. Yeah, I'll probably go to it a little later. But there's a site that I want to go to. Let's see here. And I'm going to queue it up. But it is another resource, another reference point for you to be able to utilize what Yeah. What to be able to get a sense of what is this going to look like before you actually upload it to YouTube. So I'm going to give that to you for free in just a second. That's a huge resource that I've been using recently, and just kind of gives me a window. Been working with my team to make sure that they're using it as well. Testing different thumbnails. Here's another tip. Use the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is a composition technique. That's also the name of my wife and I's business. Rule of thirds is a composition technique that can help you create an eye-catching custom thumbnail image. Divide your canvas, your 1280 by 720 or your 1080 by 1920 by 1080. You could divide your thumbnail, right, into three sections horizontally. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And then place the important details in the intersections of those segments. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those intersections, there should be 4 intersections. You have that top, those middle, the bottom, side, middle, other side. There should be 4 intersections in your thumbnail. You want to put your important things in those segments. What's going on, George Canellis? You want to put those important pieces, you want to put them in those intersections. And then you can use a border around it. Many don't use borders, and so a border could be helpful when you're creating a thumbnail. You can also use movement, including any sort of movement in your thumbnail will help catch people's attention. Movement is great, especially when you want them to watch a video, which is going to be filled with movement. We hope you want to utilize some in your thumbnail as well. And then you can also utilize negative space. Use negative space. Negative space is the area around the subject, around your image. Using negative space can help to create more visually appealing. It gives it more layers. Again, we're really just trying to hone in and harness, capture people's attention with what's eye-catching. Many people I've seen use a background image that is, a gradient or a solid color. Background image can help to add some context to your thumbnail design and make it more visually interesting. And then you always want to make sure you have the right fonts. The font you use on your YouTube. Now, many people, this is a part of branding as well. It may be part of your color scheme. Maybe you have a specific font that you use. This is a Baraka font, and that's how it all works font. So that's what I use, but I don't necessarily use that for thumbnails because it doesn't stand out well. It's really cool. It's really engaging. It's really eye-catching. It's actually very much unique, but I don't need it to be unique for the thumbnail. I need it to be visible. I need it to be clear. So choosing the right font, not necessarily your brand font, is critical. The font you use on your YouTube video thumbnail should be easy to read and legible. You want people to be able to quickly read the title of your video and understand what it's about. Include an image of your face. A lot of people, this is it's one of those where it's like, you don't necessarily have to, but people, I've shared this so many times, people don't necessarily resonate with organizations and institutions and large scale businesses. They resonate with people. People are more likely to watch a YouTube video if they can see the person is speaking in the video. So if you can at least include a little close up of yourself or something like that, it's still relevant today. It's not a make or break. There may be times where that doesn't resonate, but definitely something that I want to make sure you guys get a chance to check out. All right, let's go here. I want to showcase a website. I'm going to put that website in the chat right now. Let me see here. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, that's good. Let's publish that. Whoa, back to live. All right, let's put this link in the chat. That's not the link. All right, so the link is in the chat now. And I've got my comments off to the side here because I do want to see your comments. What's going on, Ibrahim? What's going on, George? What's going on? Who else has popped in here? I see Living Water Quilter. I see Helen Akoya is with us. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us today. This is the site. It is called Thumbs Up TV, thumbsup.tv. Thumbsup.tv. You can upload your thumbnail and get a feel for what it looks like. Multiple sizes. Look at that. That's what it looks like on Apple TV. This is the original image. Click to see the full size. Don't hope for it, work for it. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. 7 words. I think it's 7 words. But the other side of fear. Morning Motivation, episode 14. This isn't, I'm just using this as an example, but I wanted you to see, like, all I did was just click here, select one, the only one that I see right now is the one that I already selected, so I'm gonna leave that in there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that in there. But the idea is, this gives you ability to be able to see, okay, what does it look like on a dark background, on a light background? What does it look like when it's small, when it's in the sidebar? Do I still see the words? Does it still grab? Does it still make sense? Channel page small, you can look at, this is what it looks like in history. This is what it looks in watch later list. It's what it looks like in mobile, in column, Apple TV, original size. You get the idea. That's what this site is for. Thumbsup.tv. That's all this site's for, is for you to be able to see your thumbnail in all the different sizes, so you can make a determination like, that sidebar, I don't know if I can really see that. Now I can actually see that clear. So I'm not making a change. I'm just saying this is what you would be able to do with this particular website, with this resource. And I hope that that's meaningful for you. All right, let me pause here to see if there are any questions. Now, there was a gentleman on Instagram that said he was going to be coming through here, and he had a specific question. And so we've front loaded this thing, giving you some best practices around creating thumbnails. So, and this is coming directly from the community. Community is like, talk to us about thumbnails. I said, all right, cool. Let's do a deep dive on thumbnails. So talk to me. What do we got? What questions we got here today? Anybody? It sounds, maybe you guys are thumbnail experts. Is anybody brave enough to send me a link to your, well, I guess sending a link would be impossible because you'd have to be a moderator to be able to send a link. But just wondering if anybody's brave enough to have me check out their channel to take a look at some of their thumbnails. Anybody? Maybe you're doing it, you're killing the game. Maybe you just want a second opinion. This is what the Coaching Corner is all about. Making sure we are able to help you have insight and perspective. So we've talked about thumbnails today. We've given you a lot of different pointers in the comments, the live comments, and we'll make some of them available to our members on YouTube and our members on in the Workers Warehouse. Because in the warehouse, you have everything you need to be able to continue and grow on your content journey. Yeah, in the warehouse, you'll find all the things you need. So this chair just giving me a hard time. So questions now. All right, Ibrahim's got a question. Thank you for your question, Ibrahim. Can you configure your cameras to switch every X seconds automatically in Ecamm? Sorry about that. Yes, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. And even though this is not, part of what we're doing, we have a brave soul. We have a brave soul today. Equip. All right. So yes, even though this is not a direct question, I don't know if this is going to come up right. Let me see here. Did I type that correctly? Equip Institute. I did type that correctly. Oh, forgot the @ sign. All right. I love brave people. All right. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I like it. All right. All right. We're gonna check on those. We're gonna check on those in a second. Yep. Come on to the workers warehouse. Yep. You'll get all the resources in the warehouse. I've literally, this entire document that I have for thumbnails, this document will be available as a PDF download in the warehouse later today. Now, to answer Ibrahim's question really quickly, we're gonna hit the live demo mode button for just a second, and I'm going to show you something. So here, Ibrahim, you are seeing my screen, even though I don't have my mouse going. Let's get the mouse. So you're seeing my screen, and so what I'm going to do, I'll still be over here on this side. So I'm going to create I'm going to actually add a new folder. See this folder that says new automatic group right here? This is the folder I'm going to create. So I'm going to create that new automatic group. I'm going to say, let's make sure this is on. Yeah. We're still adding more, Florence. We're still adding more. So you can see here now, this is saying advance to next scene, time interval, fixed interval, every how many seconds. So you said X seconds, let's say 7 seconds. And the transition is across dissolve, or I can choose no transition. I can do slow. I can do swipe. I can do ripple. I can do white flash. Let's do swipe. Okay. Let's make this shorter so that, we can actually see it. Maybe 5 seconds, because I think 4 is just a little too short. 5 seconds. So now I've got this folder created, new automatic scene group. In that folder, I'm going to add a scene. Okay. And that scene, I'm going to call that main camera. I'm just going to select camera, and boom, we're good. We're good there. Okay. Let's see if we can get another camera. So this is main. Okay. Let's add another scene. And we're going to call this top down. That's why you see me keep on reaching up. I'm going to hit the camera icon, and I'm going to hit this video, and then I'm going to do another one and call it main zoom. So do this again, but this time we are going to, in this scene only, we're gonna zoom it in. Boom. Want a little tighter than that. Like even a little tighter than that. Okay. So now let's press play. And so now, boom, there's a swipe. Now you're seeing the top down, hands are free. I'm not touching anything. Now we're on the tight shot. We're zoomed in. Hey, what's going on? 5 seconds. Now we're back to normal. This is back to normal. All right. So this is exactly what you're talking about in terms of having an automated scene group where can you configure your cameras to switch every X amount of seconds. Now I want to be clear. You could use it for cameras, or you could use it for whatever, depending on what it is you're going through. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Even on this one that's coming up here, the top down shot, if I'm quick enough, which I'm not, I could add my other camera on that scene so that you could actually see the top down, and then you could see me as well, because it's still a scene, right? It's an actual scene that you can utilize. So here I am off to the side. So now you have that'll always be in that scene now. However you configure that scene is how that scene will be every time the camera switches to it. And that having that automated camera switcher is phenomenal. So an automated scene switcher, and you can put inside your scenes different cameras. So hopefully that makes sense. And I thank you for your question. I'm always willing to try something out. So hopefully that was good for you. We're back to normal now. Okay. Equip Institute is our willing guinea pig today. She has shared her YouTube channel, so we're going to take a look at some of her thumbnails. 8 of you guys are on the live. Today is a thumbnail day, but it's a coaching corner with Kirk. If you have any questions, like literally any questions whatsoever, come on through. Let's get your questions answered. All right. Let's go. I forgot. I'm still on live demo mode, so we want to change that. All right, back to the main camera here. And since I did that on live demo mode, I'm going to actually play the scenes again so you can see them full screen. So that's the swipe transition, and now this is the top down shot along with my video. And now you can also see the zoomed in shot. All right, tight shot of my face. Back to the normal one. Again, my hands are here, so I'm doing nothing. This is completely automated. Every 5 seconds, it is changing. I have to put my hands up a little higher so you can see it. We're still here. So that's the idea of it. I hope that helped you. Ibrahim, is that right? Yes, I think it was Ibrahim that asked that question. Thank you so much for the question. Truly appreciate it. I don't know if that's the one. Yes, it is. Okay, so now let's this is my YouTube page. This is Equip Institute's YouTube page. Let's do something real quick here. Let's do that. I want to get my YouTube. Well, I want to see my screen and my comments on the small screen while I'm showcasing this, because I want to be able to see your comments. I want to see your comments. Yeah, my absolute pleasure. Back to live. My absolute pleasure. So let's go to the next scene, which is showcasing Equip Institute's YouTube page. This is her YouTube page. Equip Institute, your productivity and your personal and purposeful productivity. I love it. The P's and the alliteration. It's great. FlorenceDonald.live. All right. This is her YouTube page. I see it. Okay. Now let's take a look at the For You is just, there's a lot of things there. So let's leave that one alone. So productivity and strategies, productivity and business strategies. So this is a playlist. This is a playlist of videos that include guests where she's interviewing them. Okay. So that's good context, because we do want to make sure that we understand, okay, what's happening here. Right? Being productive is about understanding your purpose. Start with asking and answering 2 questions. Why is this thing my goal? I love this. She's giving value right here in the description. Boom. Now, Iron Sharpens Iron is the name of the show. I have to say that the Iron Sharpens Iron would do better, I think, if it was filled in, if it was a little bit bold. See, like you're looking at it now. Now I'm going to make it bigger, but to be clear, I'm going to make it smaller again, because that's what people will see it as. So we make this bigger. Now this is a lot clearer. You know, it's a lot clearer that's Iron Sharpens Iron. But before I made it bigger, you may not know that that's what it is. So I would recommend filling in those letters. Maybe not so much changing them, but filling them in. Here's another thing What does iron sharpens iron mean? What does it mean? What does it say to us? If this video was off by itself in the wild, not on her page, which it is, I want to be clear, her video is out there by itself. Let's see if we can get this video to come up. So this video is entitled How Leadership and Personal. Yeah, let's go to this video real quick. Let's go to this video real quick. How do let's go. Yep. All right, let's go back. Boom. So I put in how leadership and personal branding help to be productive. Okay, so we put that in, and several videos come up, but one of the first ones that comes up is hers, which is great. It's great, but the thumbnail doesn't say anything about leadership and personal branding. Thumbnail, this actually, here's the real distinction, and I hope that this is helpful for you, Florence. This is a flyer. This is a great flyer, actually, but a flyer is not a thumbnail. A flyer is not a thumbnail, and that's probably one of the biggest takeaways you could have from today's show. A flyer is not a thumbnail. And so while this tells us the name of the show, tells us the name of your guests, tells us probably the time. Yep, I see it, Friday, 6. It tells us the time of the show, but this is not this. What we should have here is a thumbnail and not a flyer. A flyer has all those details on there, but a thumbnail, however, a thumbnail should tell people exactly the value that they're going to get out of it. So when I say 1-2 punch, what I'm talking about is 1 punch thumbnail, 2 punch title description. When people get hit with both of those, their next immediate action should be, technical knockout. No, it should be that they hit they should hit the canvas, knocked out. No, they should click the button. One of the things that I do often is I'll see something like this and say, who's this? Let me go and see who this is from. And I'll click on the channel, not the video. I'll click on the channel. And one of the things that you can do when you click on the channel is you now can take a look and say, okay, this is what she's all about. All right, I like this. There's the video that I was looking at earlier. Okay. Yeah, maybe let me check it out. But keeping that in mind, G. Albert, I see your comment. The YouTube link for your session is taking me through a lot of ADs. YouTube link for my session. I don't know what session you're talking about. This one that you're watching now, I don't know why it would take you through a lot of ads. I see ads. You're saying ads. Hey, that's unfortunate. I don't know why it's taking you through a lot of ads. Monetization is turned on, but yeah, that's I guess this is one of the things about using YouTube. Anyway, this is so that would be the main thing. The main distinction is to, I want to look at this objectively for just a second. Give me 1 minute. I'm now in like full assessment mode. Yeah. I mean, but there's several others here that are good. Need for speed. We talked about having activity, right? That's a person on a motorcycle who is driving, and then the thumbnail says need for speed, and the title is Write Fast, Boost Productivity. Okay, but we would making sure that the graphic pairs, it's like this. So this is a thumbnail. This is a real thumbnail. The ones for the shows, I get it, because you have guests on the show. You want to make sure you have your guests in the thumbnail, but it quickly shifts towards being a flyer, which is its own standalone piece of promo content, as opposed to it being a thumbnail. And a thumbnail and a flyer are not the same things. They are incongruent. So here we have a definite thumbnail, but the thumbnails is bordering on, I'm not sure, because I think you have some details here right underneath where it says Need for Speed, but I can't really see that. So this is where thumbsup.tv would really help to be able to say, okay, what is that going to look like when somebody's scrolling through my YouTube page? Is there anything on there that you would be able to shift or tweak? But I think there's some really good ones here. Unleash the power of meeting planning. Unleash the power of meeting planning. How to plan a productive meeting. See, they're not the exact same thing, but I definitely know what this video is all about. And if that's what I'm searching for, I'm gonna go to that immediately. I'm gonna go take a look at that immediately. All right, where are we at here on our comments? I see 10 of you guys are on the live today with us. I thank you so much for coming and hanging out today. Yeah, thank you for coming and hanging out. We had one brave soul. I don't know if we have any others, and I want to say thank you, Florence, for being willing to allow us to take a peek at your channel. That's sometimes very hard to do, sometimes ridiculously hard to do. So, and instead of showcasing any of the others, I want to showcase mine now. So let's go back. This is Equip Institute, and I love it. I love that she has playlists. There's so much that I could talk about here that has nothing to do with thumbnails that she is doing well. I'm going to go from her channel to my channel. So on my channel, of course, I'm live right now, so that's what's up. The Other Side of Fear. The size of the letters, immediately you should notice that they are bigger. Secondly, notice that there is some kind of continuity, even though these are all different pieces of content. StreamYard versus Canva versus StreamYard. You can see those bars at the bottom. Don't hope for it, work for it. Those bars are split, but they're still there. Same for this one, same for this one, same for this one, same for this one. My watch is telling me I need to stand. I got you. I got you covered. The Other Side of Fear. Look at these. This is a playlist why I go live. I don't put myself on there. I put the guest only. I try to maintain the format of it so that it is what it is. So I try to maintain the format of it here. I hope that you're seeing the strategy behind them. So while my font is Baraka, which is what you'll see on the Morning Motivation and Media placeholders, because those are not the actual thumbnails. Those are the placeholders. The thumbnails are these. The Morning Motivation thumbnails they look like this with the split line. So the Baraka font is what I use for my brand, but for my thumbnails, I forgot what the font is. But I always have to change it out because I don't want to, well, let me say, when I'm doing stuff for clients, I have to make sure I don't use that font for them, because this is a font that I specifically use for my thumbnails. The font has an outline around each letter. a black outline around each letter so that it helps each letter, regardless of what the background is, to stand out. And again, you know, we're looking at them very small, but let's take a look at them slightly bigger just for a few minutes so you can kind of get a feel for what they look like. All right, so let's go here. Here's one, and studio chat plus options. That is a StreamYard screen, and that's a mobile screen. Yeah, Ecamm virtual camera, Zoom, StreamYard, FaceTime, Keynote. They're all there on the thumbnail, and you know, Ecamm virtual cameras in the middle. Welcome to a Worker's Warehouse. That's another one that's for this particular show, the Coaching Corner. So that's what that looks like. 121 views. This was last week when I was in the office, so you can see what that looks like as well. So lot of ideas for you guys to be able to pull from, and I hope that that's meaningful for you. Let me see what we got here in terms of comments. Let's see what we got. Do you use the same font on each thumbnail? Yes, I do. That's a great question. G. Albert says, I'm on now. I'm glad you're here, sir. But listen, I am rounding home base. We have been live for 51 minutes, and I'm probably going to land here in about 4 minutes. We're going to give right at the 55-minute mark. I have another project at 1:30, so about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. So if you have any final questions, now is the time. Now is the time. 6 of you guys on the live. We got 10 likes. I want to say a word of thanks to all of you for coming through and hang out today. If you didn't get a chance to see all of it, like I don't think Albert did, definitely go back and check it out. We gave a number, 10 in total, tips, best practices, strategies for your thumbnails. And to be clear, thumbnails is part of that 1-2 punch that allows people to really see what your video is all about and make their own decision in terms of, yes, that's what I've been looking for, or no, it's not what I'm looking for, or man, that color really throws me off, and they go and do something else. Or man, that's so intriguing, wonder what that movement, let me just go into the video. You see, developing a healthy sense of curiosity is where it's at. You want to make sure that curiosity is evident, it's prevalent, that people are curious with your content. Yeah. Yes. Inviting everybody to come out with us in the warehouse. Yes, in the warehouse. You know what? That's a great way to close it out today, is to showcase what is in the warehouse. Let me see if this will come up. Of course it doesn't. Ooh. Good jobby. Come check out what's in the warehouse. And for those that are interested, man, on the screen right now, you have a QR code that will get you a free coaching session. No, QR code's right here, and it'll get you a free coaching session. So scan that QR code, or no, it's just scanning the QR code. Scan that QR code and see what you come up with. See what you come up with. Free coaching session. All right. 12 of you guys on the live now. This is the warehouse, the Workers Warehouse. This is the main page of the Workers Warehouse. There's a mini course right here, 5 tips for camera confidence. I'm actually working on another video right now, and I'm actually working on 3 more videos that I'll be uploading to this particular segment. I want to just have them lined off and, next to one another, so you can watch them at your own, leisure. Then there are warehouse courses that are being made available. The Remote Producer Accelerator is coming online later this week as well. These 2 are already available. You can actually click in here to the StreamYard Ultimate course, and you can watch those, or you can click in here to the Ecamm Deep Dive course, and you can watch some of those, or you can go back to the homepage the warehouse homepage. And I've got a little update video there. And in fact, I'm working on another update video because there's more things coming in the warehouse. You also have the equipment list download, ebook download, YouTube description template, audio effects. You can literally gain access to every audio effect that I have or own. You can have access to them here. So that is what we have available in the warehouse. Now we have the live stream graphics. You can actually get access to that as well. And we will be adding today's list of steps for thumbnails. We'll be adding that here as well. So definitely a lot in the warehouse. Thankful to the team, the crew for making that available. Says, by the way, I like the t-shirt. Build on your intellectual property. I love that. I'm working with Fourth Wall to get my merch relaunched. So hopefully that comes soon. Get all the designs transferred over, but we'll see how it goes. I do have to capture the comments now, or do I have to capture the comments now, or can I grab the live comments later? In Ecamm, as long as you don't switch profiles or shut down the application, your comments will stay in the system, and you can kind of go through them and write down whichever ones you wanted to really focus on. So you do have the ability to go through and utilize the comments even after the live show is done. So you do not have to try to capture them now. But one of the things I do is I'll put the comments on screen like I've done for yours, and then I'll be able to, if I'm rewatching the show, that comment will be there and I can write it down, even if I'm not here at this computer where the comments are actually still in Ecamm. So if I go back into live demo mode just one more time, you can see that all the comments are here, and they will stay here as long as they'll stay here as long as I haven't shut down Ecamm. So that's a great question. Thank you so much, Albert, for that. And we will drop it right there. That's the end of our coaching corner today. I hope it was meaningful for you. I hope those of you that are catching this on replay are able to really, sink your teeth into what are the tips, tricks, and best practices of creating a YouTube thumbnail. And if you didn't hear anything else from me, make sure you walk away with just these two things. Number one, the thumbnail needs to accurately describe or give a preview of what the person's going to get in the video. That's number one. Number two, a thumbnail is not a flyer. It is not a flyer. Doesn't need to have date and time. Doesn't need to have episode number. It doesn't need to have the title of the show even. It deals specifically with content. Specifically with content. If you have a guest on and they've sent something especially spicy, pull that quote out. Put that quote on your thumbnail. Maybe even pose it as a question so that people can know inside this video is the answer to the question I've put on this thumbnail. That is one of the best overarching principles you can walk away with to be able to really set your content apart. And I hope that that's meaningful for you. Fam, it's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention today. We never take that for granted. You could be anywhere else. You could be doing anything else. You probably should, but you took time out to come and hang out with me today, regardless of whether you were live or you were on replay. Thank you. I want to say a word of thanks to you. And let me just close the way that we started. The Coaching Corner with Kirk is a space where we help you to not only find your audience, to engage your audience, but to also be able to serve your audience. Coaches, authors, consultants, entrepreneurs, business owners, it doesn't matter. We can utilize live streaming. You can utilize video content. We can utilize these platforms to be able to broadcast your genius to the world. And that's what it's all about. I'll see you guys around these internet streets or in the next video. Later.
you.